All right, so back to where I was talking about how my sister got me into drugs. And I know that in these videos, if you watch, I am jumping back and forth from kind of different points of my life. And ultimately, it's going to make sense. But as I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm also remembering a lot of things that I've personally tried to block out of my life. And so it is true that, yeah, my sister did, expose me to drugs. And, I only smoked weed at that point, but because I was an adult and doing or acting like an adult, even though I was a child or a kid, um, that kind of made me think, well, okay, well, I could either keep dealing with the same problems or I leave with my father. So I left with my father, and I didn't do anything actually up until we moved to Texas, as I said. So now we're in Texas, and he got an apartment, and then I met these other kids that were a part of this complex. So it's multiple complexes that are all connected into like back to back, right? So someone could live in one apartment complex and we lived in another. And yeah, so I would meet up with them, and they were a little bit older than me, 15, 16. And this wasn't my first time running with the crowd. As I had mentioned, when I was younger, the neighborhood kids, we'd go ride our bicycles around. But even the people that I thought were my friends really were beating me up and putting me down. One of them, we would go over to his house, and he had a pool. Of course, this was like maybe around 10 years old or so, and he had a brother. And but the same situation would happen. Their family was, they had a pool, they had a nice house. I think their dad was like um, some kind of like superintendent or someone like that. Who cares? Anyways, so yeah, meeting with them, we'd run around and we'd go up to stores and steal things. And a lot of that carried over when we were out in Texas now. And Texas is definitely a place where you don't want to do bad things, because we're pretty close to the Huntsville prison, so you don't want to go there. Period. The problems, though, like between my dad, kind of dissipated. He was focused on whatever he was doing. Um, and then now I'm running with a different crowd of kids. And we went to Kmart, and this Kmart was kind of like closing out, but we would go and we'd take games, and we'd be able to open up cases and things like that. And because I had been so accustomed to this, back when I was younger, you know we had bicycle shops. We also had like Tower Records, if any of you know what Tower Records is. That was it. And so I'd go up there and I'd try to steal CDs and VH or tapes, things like that. And